Hello, my good friends. This is episode 1 of BTD5 Scienced. So, I decided to make this new series just because a lot of people get sort of bored of my content, and I tried doing this a couple times where I talked about science things in some of my old videos, and people thought it was super interesting. So, I figured, hey, why not bring it back and let's see how you guys like it now. So, what I'm going to do is for the next, I don't know, however many maps there are, I'm going to talk about science things in every single episode. I'm going to try and make every single episode roughly 10 minutes long. So if that means I have to speed them up 3 times, 4 times, whatever, I'll do that. This episode is actually only sped up about 2 times. Um, and it also will allow you guys to learn just a little bit about BTD5 from me playing as well. I'm not going to talk very much about BTD5, but if something is necessary or required for me to talk about, I will. So anyways, I wanted to talk about bacteria today. What are bacteria? A lot of people, you've probably heard of bacteria. If you're older than, 10 years old, you've probably heard of them as germs. Germs are what people think cause diseases. You get germs inside of you and then all of a sudden you get sick, right? Well, there's a lot more to bacteria than just germs. There's a lot more to bacteria. They matter they matter to you every single day, pretty much everywhere you go, and for pretty much anything you'll do the rest of your life. But I'm kind of talking them up. They really don't matter that much, but they are sure everywhere. So let's talk about a couple quick things. Where do they live? Well, bacteria are literally everywhere. If you go to anywhere in the entire world, I can guarantee bacteria will live there, except for a place where they tried to get rid of bacteria nearly 100% for hospitals or some sort of place where they need to have a fully sterile area. The CCD or whatever for disease control. Those places, I can see some of those places having fully bacteria-ridden places. But everywhere else, literally, you look on your desk right now. There's millions of bacteria right there. You go to the deepest trench in the entire world, the Mariana Trench. They're there. They're in the air right now. You might not believe me, but yes, there's a bunch of them in the air, especially wherever you are. Because every time you breathe, you're breathing out bacteria and you're breathing in bacteria. They're in the water. Every single place where you go where there's water, you're probably drinking a bunch of bacteria. Now, there's not that many in there, I'll admit. There's probably, well, I mean, depending on what you think by only a few, there's probably quite a bit. But overall, compared to other places, there's really not that many in your drinking water and things like that, depending on where you live. Tables, chairs, floors, animals, everywhere. There's bacteria everywhere. Also, kind of crazy, there's bacteria in and around you and on you. At all times, millions of them. In fact, not just millions, there's a lot more than that. There's billions and trillions of them. There's trillions of bacteria inside of you right now. If you don't believe me, you can go ahead and look it up online, but I expect you guys to trust me on this. Now, it's kind of crazy to think that there's so many bacteria just everywhere, and you don't even need to think about it ever. You don't think about all these bacteria on you and, getting on your face or getting in your eyes, or if you eat some food, think about all the bacteria that are possibly on there. But there really is, guys. There is, just a cool fact, there is about 10 times more bacteria in and on you than make up you. You might not believe me, but bacteria are a lot smaller than your eukaryotic cells. Bacteria are prokaryotic cells, which means they're just a lot simpler cells. They don't have as much stuff going on. They don't have to do as many cellular activities. So they're kind of simple compared to our eukaryotic cells. But they are everywhere. They really are, guys. And they are, the main place where they actually exist is in your gut. There's probably, I don't know, about I don't know, I'm just kind of ballparking here, but anywhere from like 1 to 5 pounds of bacteria inside of you, in your gut especially. Some people have more than others, of course. And you know what? They're not all bad. A lot of people think, oh, germs, they're bad. Bacteria, oh, 100% bad. No. The germs on your skin and stuff like that actually live in a mutualistic relationship with you, where they actually keep other pathogenic things that are bad for you, that cause sickness, cause disease. They actually keep them away by basically, I outliving any other sort of pathogens that try and land on your skin or try and land inside of you. You have tons and tons of bacteria in your mouth, and that's what causes bad breath. I think a lot of people probably realize that bad breath and stuff is caused by bacteria, and that's why we brush our teeth every day, to get rid of all those guys or try and kill some of them, kill most of them, That's how we do it, and that's what we do. We never kill all of them. No matter if you brush your teeth and use mouthwash and put salts in your mouth for days on end, you're not going to kill all the bacteria. It's crazy. And I just find it very fascinating how many bacteria are inside of you and how they actually can help you. For example, there's a lot in your gut that actually break down nutrients and help your body. E. coli, you think of E. coli, if you've heard of E. coli, you probably think of it as a bad thing, E. coli, that's what happens when the lake gets all dirty, because there's poop everywhere in the lake and you get E. coli poisoning or something like that. Not really, but no, they actually help you out. They make vitamin K and they make some other nutrients that we really can't break down in our food, but the bacteria can, and then it allows our gut to actually absorb those nutrients. So I find that kind of interesting. We actually work together with bacteria. They live inside of us, and guess what? If we die, so do they. They're just going to die, so they want to. They want us to live, and they want to help us out in certain conditions. But there's also some bacteria that don't really want to help us out. The way that they survive is by causing damage to our cells and causing damage to other things, and making a big aggregate of cells, and we don't like that, and that's when we get sick, or that's when we get some sort of disease where we get sores or something like that on our skin, or an infection in our skin when we get a cut and then you get bacteria inside of there. So those are just some cool things about bacteria. And what else is there? Well, how fast do they grow? A lot of people, they don't understand how fast do bacteria grow. Bacteria grow extremely fast. In basically perfect conditions, bacteria can grow about 2 times the size that they are right now. If we start with the little baby bacteria, it'll take about 30 minutes for it to double in size. And then, not only that, you got to think that how do they reproduce? Well, it's not like a human. It's not like a little animal that we're used to, that you have 2 bacteria mate and they come together and then they make a new little baby bacteria. It's not like that at all. You actually have one bacteria that just gets big enough and then it actually divides in half. It makes its DNA over again, one more set of its DNA, and then it just makes 2 of itself. And I also found it kind of interesting that I read up on this just before this video. I was actually wondering myself, do bacteria age? And they actually say, well, they don't age the same way that humans do. Basically, there's enough errors and damage in our DNA where that's what usually causes old age. Our telomeres, this might be a little too advanced for you guys, but our telomeres shorten, and it basically causes decay of our DNA, and that's what causes our cells to not look as great, not do as well, and causes cancer and stuff like that. Bacteria, they also age. They get damage to their DNA and stuff, and eventually what happens is when they divide, they could give both of their offspring, their daughter cells, some of their bad DNA, but they don't actually do that. What happens is they give one of the cells a really good amount of DNA, the best DNA, and then they give the other cell some sort of bad DNA. And they're hoping that that one good cell is going to go on and make more cells, and the other cell still has a chance to make other cells. So that's what's good about those bacteria. But you also have to think they can reproduce in 30 minutes. So that means they can double every 30 minutes. You start off with 1, it makes 2 in 30 minutes, it makes 4 in an hour, it makes 8 in an hour and a half, 16 in 2 hours, and then 64 and 128 in about 3 hours. That's just one from 1. And you just keep multiplying that up, and you're going to get to 1 million in a day, a day or two. You're going to get more than 1 million. And in fact, you can get billions over like a day or two. So it's just kind of ridiculous to think you went from one bacteria to billions that fast. I'm kind of running out of time here almost, but just quick couple notes. Bacteria do not cause the flu, and they do not cause colds. Those are both viruses, so don't get confused by that, but that doesn't mean all bacteria are good. They do cause a lot of diseases, and some of the worst diseases, actually. Viruses usually don't cause the worst things. Bacteria do. How many are there? Since I said, they live pretty much everywhere, there's a lot of them. There definitely is a lot of bacteria. I looked it up online, and there's 5 times 10 to the 30th amount of bacteria. That is more biomass if you took the weight of everything, of all the humans on Earth and all the animals on Earth and all the plants on Earth. We still would not make up as much density or as much mass as those bacteria. Bacteria started just about 4 billion years ago, right around there, and some bacteria actually went to the moon. They were there for about 3 or 4 years. We brought them back to Earth, and they came back to life, believe it or not. So they are unbelievable guys, these bacteria. And there's also bacteria that live inside of bacteria, believe it or not. Bacteria infect other bacteria. They're that ridiculous. Anyways, feedback, much appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.